I'm standing next to a beautiful 356 Speedster and lucky enough to be with a guy who knows a lot more about these than I do. This is Reid Vann from Reid Vann Imports. And Reid, I know you've done a lot of work and collected a lot of these cars. Would you do us a favor and just kind of walk through this vehicle with the things that you would notice if you were considering either purchasing or servicing this car?
Well, from a standpoint of purchasing, I usually start as I'm walking up to the car looking at the door gaps. This car has fairly even door gaps all around, which means the body has been restored properly and probably is straight. After I walked around the car looking at the gaps, I noticed there's a little disparity in the gaps on the hood. I like to open the door because a common rust place on these cars is right in this area here. And you can spot it if it's been repaired properly or if it's in very good shape by opening the door and running your fingers along the inside. And this car is a little fatter and rougher than it should be back there, indicating there's been body work there.
Right.
But it's done, it looks very nice. The wrinkles here in the window could be cured by putting the correct fastener on the here, and this would pull this down when the top was up. That's a fastener that should go right here that holds us down. It has the correct beehive tail lights, the shine down, so-called shine down tail light, which means it's shining down on the license plate. The engine is, I didn't check the number. There's a serial number right at this point that should correspond to the certificate of authenticity I saw inside the car. It has the correct carburetors. A little of the sheet metal is not correct, but not a big deal and very easy to fix if you want to. This is the so-called super exhaust, and the car is not a super, so if you wanted to be technical, it should just have a single pipe coming out the back. The rear window or the top is too big. It's much nicer for driving the car with this large window, but the original Speedster came with a very small rear window. The seats are special to the Speedster. They've been reproduced in fiberglass, so you want to make sure you've got the original steel seats. It's easy to see these are the original steel seats because they forgot to put a piece of carpeting on the side. Right here there should be carpeting. If it had original floorboards on a Speedster or any of the open cars, there's going to be some rust pitting on the top. This car's had the floorboards replaced, which, if done properly, doesn't devalue the car at all.
So, Reid, here we are in front of a very nice 1964 356. It's a coupe, and they're a little more affordable, and maybe there's reasons this car would be not quite in that 100,000 range like those Speedsters over there.
Well, a closed car always brings less money than an open car, plus the fact that the Speedster is the iconic Porsche, so it has a premium price put on it. But if you want to enjoy the Porsche driving experience in an earlier car, the perfect choice is the 1964-65 Coupe, because they're fairly weather tight, they're excellent road cars. The Speedster over any distance at all gets very uncomfortable. If you look at the gaps on the hood and the doors, they're very nice. They're not perfect, but they're very nice, indicating a good solid car. The inside has been reupholstered in the correct German square weave carpet. It has mostly the correct parts on the interior. It has headrests, which were an option, factory option. The steering wheel is the correct steering wheel. I have a little problem with the fact they put a cover on the steering wheel, which makes the grip a lot better, but I would have liked to have seen the plastic to see what shape it was in. Those cocoa mats are very period correct. The floorboards should be painted black, but they appear to be the original floorboards. Someone has painted them over with a primer to cover up, I guess, the...
So not correct, but not horribly done either.
The engine compartment looked very correct. It was very well done from what I can see here. and it's a C, which is the super of the 64-65 period. They had the SC, which was a little bit more horsepower, about 95 rather than 75. If you're going to get one, like you suggested, I would talk to members of the 356 registry. I would try to find someone, qualified mechanic, to get the car on a rack and thoroughly inspect the underside to find out what you're getting into, because a lot of times people will restore these and they won't deal with the suspension, and when there are a lot of rubber parts, there are things that need to be looked at to prepare you for some work you might have to do after you purchase the car.